Good morning and welcome to Algebra 1. Today we're going to move on beyond where our quiz prep will be, and we're looking at the next piece of the unit, which is called literal equations. I'm going to give you a couple examples of what that means and then the assignment. Essentially, and here we'll start off with showing you what that looks like. Literal equations are equations that involve numerous different variables. Our goal is to isolate one of the variables. That's pretty much always what we're looking for with a literal equation. Here's a very simple one. The area formula for a rectangle is area equals length times width. So, not a problem right now. What if instead of solving it for A, which it already is solved for, we want to solve for L? So you'd see either solve for L or you'd see a semicolon and then the letter L. Either which way, it's asking you to do the same thing. Get L by itself. L is tied to the W by the act of multiplication, so in order to undo the multiplication, we're going to have to divide both sides by W. Dividing both sides by W cancels the W on that side, leaving L by itself. On the left side, you can't really reduce A over W, so that's just what you write. A divided by W. So the length of a rectangle is equal to its area divided by its width. Try another one. Let's say the area of a triangle is 1/2 of its base times its height. Basic geometry equation that tells you the area of a triangle. All right, let's say this time we're going to try to solve for h, which means get the h by itself. The semicolon followed by the h tells you what we're trying to solve for. Okay, well, first thing I want to do is get rid of that 1/2. We could divide by 1/2, but what's easier is to multiply by its reciprocal. How do we clear a fraction? We multiply by the denominator. There's a denominator of 2 there, so I'm going to multiply by 2. On the left side, 2 times a is 2a. On the right side, 2 times 1/2 is just 1bh. So bh is now by itself, which gives me one more step to get h by itself. Divide by b. So we divide both sides by b. Canceled out. And we have h by itself. You could put it on the left if you like seeing it there. 2a divided by b. The height of a triangle is equal to twice its area divided by its base. But that's not really super important right now. What we're looking at here is just what does it mean to solve a literal equation? We're looking to isolate a variable. You're generally going to use one of the 4 operations: add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Whatever it is, we do them in as many steps as necessary to get the variable by itself. Okay, let's try one a little harder. The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Again, you don't have to know that, it doesn't matter. It's presenting to you a problem. We're going to solve for h. Okay, well, there is a coefficient of pi. Pi is a number, 3.141589, whatever, it keeps on going forever and always. We're just going to divide by pi first. If I divide both sides by pi, that cancels. And now I have volume over pi equals r squared h. All we really have to do is get h by itself, right? So divide by r squared. It's just the coefficient of h. It's what's next to the h. So we can divide by r squared. Whoop, that's an h. Let's try r squared. When you divide a fraction by another number, it just goes into the denominator. I'll show you what that means. H now is by itself, and this is volume over pi r squared. Dividing a fraction by another number just sends that number into the denominator as a multiple. That was harder because it had more steps and it was a little bit more confusing with the fraction being divided, and it had a squared in there, which is different, but it was just a couple of steps. We got the h by itself. Now, whether or not it's an actual equation doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a true formula. So I could say squared triangle happy face equals 3 times, doesn't really, again, make a difference. So let's just go with, here you go, an upside down triangle. Why not? It doesn't matter, who cares? The point is we're trying to isolate for one of those variables. Let's say I really want to isolate the happy face. How do we get the happy face by itself? Well, it's right here, and it's got coefficients of square and triangle. All I'm going to do is divide by each one of those. I can do them at one time if I want to. Square triangle. Just going to divide by square triangle on both sides. Because square cancels square and triangle cancels triangle. All I'm left with is my happy face. On the other side, it's 3 upside down triangle over square triangle. It doesn't matter that those symbols in this particular problem have no true meaning. It doesn't have to be an actual formula that you recognize. You might not have even recognized the formula for the volume of a right circular cylinder. Probably didn't. Doesn't matter. We're just trying to get one of those pieces by itself. Generally, again, we're looking at add, subtract, multiply, divide. That's all it is. All I want you to do is go onto IXL, and I want you to complete task I.9. So, IXL, it's Algebra 1. Ignore that bell, we're not dismissed yet. And it's task I.9. The scores you're looking to achieve are going to be shown to you on the Google Classroom relevant to your class. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. This is due, by the way, on Thursday. It's not due today, it's not even due tomorrow. It's due on Thursday. Have a good day. Let me know if there's any questions. Thanks.